My name is Daryl, and this is Programming in Any Language. We're working with C# right now, but the principles are the same in all languages. Master these principles, and you can easily jump to any other language quickly. How do you move an application to a new location? In short, to move an application to a new location, you need to move everything and keep everything together. Visual Studio creates a lot of files. Well, so does Java and Python. So as the application gets created during the design phase, it's important to, in a sense, let sleeping dogs lie. Don't mess with things. If you don't know what it is, don't mess with it. But sometimes you have to. The following will show you how to zip your application, which will allow you to take that zip and place it in a new location where it can be opened safely. And the project will run as normal.
What I've done is I've set up two folders that are inside this particular folder. One is called the current folder, and the other one is called the destination folder. What I want to work with is basically showing you how to move a file or a program, a whole application, the entire project you're working on, to a new location. Yes, you can do this by copying everything and just copying it and pasting it to a new location, or you can use zip files to do it. And actually quite often you want to use the zip approach because you may be sending it somewhere else. Maybe you're in school and you want to upload an application to your instructor. Maybe you're working with a client and you want to be able to compress all the files so you've got everything in one spot, and then you can go off and send it to the client without any problems at all. Also, you may want to make replications of your particular project so that you can save it, much like you would a video game, where instead of getting killed and having to start all over again, you could save a place where you are at in your application development, and then come back to it if something goes really bad going forward. You can come back to that piece that you were working on. So let's take a look at this real quickly. What I've got here is its current folder. In the current folder, we've got the old flashcard demo program, and you can see it's got one folder in it. If I open that folder, what the project consists of is a solution file and a file that contains everything else in your program. Everything else is here. If we dig into the flashcard demo folder, you'll find that your bin, object properties, your forms, everything else is sitting in here. You need all this stuff. And you can go even deeper into this thing by going into the bin folder. You'll find a debug folder, and you'll find your flashcard demo exe. This is the executable that was actually created when you created this thing in the first place. So let's back up. Let's go back to this first thing. What I'd like to do is I would like to take this entire package and make a zip file out of it, so I can take that zip file and put it in some other place, another machine, another folder, whatever. So what I'm going to do, I could go into this and I could highlight everything here if I wanted to and send this to a zip file. Or I could simply go up one folder and take this and right click on it and compress the zip file right here. I'll do that. What that does, it creates a zipcard demo zip file, flashcard demo zip file right here. This is the piece that I can actually move somewhere else. So let's go ahead and open up our folders again. Let's get our File Explorer up, and let's bring up our destination folder, which is going to be right here. And I can take this zipcard demo right here, and I can do a Control-C on it and a Control-V and paste it in this location. Now I've got the zip file sitting right over here, so I don't need this anymore. I don't need this current folder. I can go to my destination folder where it's all sitting. We'll go up a little bit, and this is where we are. We're at the destination folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the zip folder and extract all. What that does, it brings up this little browser menu, and I can go ahead and extract. Once it does that, it creates a new flashcard demo program right here. And I can click on this, click on it again, and there's my solution file and my demo. Everything is there that I need to do. So let's go out now and bring up Visual Studio. I'm going to go up to where this is, the destination folder, bring up my Visual Studio, use 2022. I'm going to open a project or solution. and I'm going to navigate to that particular folder. I got to go up ways, I'm down deep here. This is the destination folder right here. Here's my flashcard demo folder. I'll dig into it and create another folder. So I'll go into this. And here's finally my solution. And now I can click on my solution and open it. And up comes everything. I should be able to get to my design. I have my 100% Visual Studio scaling. I'm going to go ahead and click on this to bring up the version without my scaling. I have multiple monitors. That's the reason I'm getting this. You may not get this when this happens. And it comes back up. Now it's looking real good. I close off this little piece right here. There's my flashcard demo. Does it work? It should. Let's go ahead and start it. Yep, I got a suspicious file detected. That's the reason I'm using a, not McAfee, I'm using another one. I'm using AVG. Yeah, I'm right here, AVG. I'm using AVG to protect my files from outside sources. And I usually have a folder when I'm working with my students. I have a folder where I correct everything as I'm getting stuff all the time from them. And when I open it, I don't need this to happen. But in this particular case, it's looking at a zip file that came in. It doesn't know what it is. And so it's basically guaranteeing it's okay. It is. So it comes up. There's our form. We can actually go ahead and start this thing. We'll start it with a 50 to get some different numbers in here. Do a start, and it seems to be working fine. There's our plus. There's 71. We'll continue. We'll do a multiplication. We should get a 0. We did, and so on down the line. So it works just fine. Clear it off and exit the program. So that worked out just great.
Oh, that was easy enough, and it makes life easy. When my students submit their projects for grading, that is exactly what they do. I get their zip file, I unzip it, and the projects generally run just fine on my machine. I say generally because in the computer world, weird things do happen from time to time. They always do. And we deal with that. The next thing I want to show you is that executable we saw briefly as we looked through our project. The .exe file is actually the compiled version of your program. This puppy will run. Now, as our programs get more complex, support files may be needed to run our programs. But in this beginning phase of programming in Visual Studio, you need to find that this .exe file can be used to execute your complete program. Take a look.
Okay, we're back at our flashcard demo in the destination folder that I copied over before. There's one other thing you may want to see. Before we went in, we dug deep into this thing. We went into the file demo program and we went down into the folder. We saw the solution file. We saw the file that contained everything. If we go down a little bit deeper into this thing, I go into that bin folder. The bin folder is where everything happens. Bin debug folder. We'll dig into the debug. There's our exe. You might find files in it too. When we start working with writing and reading files, we find those things in there and all that. But this is our executable. If we right click on this thing and create a shortcut, show more options. There we go. Great shortcut. We got that in here. There's a great shortcut. I knew I'd find it. If I click on this, it creates a shortcut. I can take that shortcut now and move it to my desktop. So it's sitting right over here. If I close this off, let's see, we'll cancel this. I don't care about that. Whoops, it screwed up on me. It did. Let's put it back. Let's do that again because it's coming out of Dropbox. That's why. So we'll say, yeah, move out of Dropbox. So it's out of Dropbox right now. I can close this thing up, and I've got this application right here. Just a shortcut to my application. If I click on this, there's my application running. I can start it. And there's our plus. There's our multiplication, our subtraction, and our division. Seems to be working just fine. So you can easily create a shortcut on your desktop or anybody else's desktop for that matter if you happen to apply this program. Now, it gets more complicated if you're using many files, database connections and those kinds of things. It can get kind of complicated. But if we're starting to do simple programs like we are right now, that's kind of stand on it by themselves, you can do this by just copying the exe and moving it to your file. You may need to put Visual Studio on the computer destination that you're using. so to be ensured that it'll work. But once we get to the point of being able to create applications that we can literally distribute, all those files will be contained in your distribution folder and will actually move to another person's computer, whether they have Visual Studio or not. We'll look at that down the road. But right now, we want to keep it simple and just show you can easily pop a program up and just have a shortcut on your desktop and allow it to easily run without any problems whatsoever. Can we run many of them? Sure we can. We can have a whole bunch of these things going. So there you go. That's all you need to do.
Pretty cool, right? As we get further into programming with C#, I'll show you other folder techniques that will help you as you design more complex programs. Remember, designing applications is a lot like playing a video game where the monster can kill you. In those games, you're likely you're going to get killed. What's not fun is getting killed and having to start all over again. That's why you save. Different design techniques will help you save your designs at different stages so you too don't get killed and have to start all over again. What you need to take out of this video is zip all your files to keep your application together. A shortcut to your exe file will allow you to run your program. We'll take a look at problem solving soon, and then it's off to the land of decisions. That will expand what our programs can do. See you next time. Thanks for watching. If you get a chance, please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.